Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I trust we can all hear me. Please, if you can hear me, please just confirm by maybe indicating somewhere in the chat box. So I'm super clear that, I can see some of my Mercury colleagues. I want to see outsiders. Non-Mercury folks also confirm. All right. Can you hear me clearly? Super clearly? All right. Thank you so much for joining us for our, all right, Opoju Job. Yeah, thank you for indicating that you can hear me so clearly. All right, so thank you so much for joining. We're starting now. But before we start, I just wanted to introduce, the company, what we do, and the speaker whom we're so privileged to have with us today. Yeah. So I am going to start by talking about Mercury. Mercury is a technology company that makes global technologies more accessible and useful to African companies. We started out this iteration of the journey, with what brought us here today, AdPay. So with AdPay, businesses can pay for Google Ads in Naira without, thinking about, converting to dollars. We still get to there. But today we support multiple solutions on our service. Today you can pay for cloud, SaaS, and ad solutions in local currency and manage everything on one platform. So you could pay for your cloud service. You could pay for Workspace, Google Workspace, Google Cloud, Google Workspace, AWS Cloud, Huawei, Zoho, DigitalOcean, and we're announcing 2 new additions today. You can pay for these services in local currency via bank transfer, card, or direct debits. You can upgrade and downgrade your subscriptions. Ultimately, that should happen pretty soon. You're going to manage all your licenses centrally from one platform. We also, help businesses, save with discounts and cashbacks. So if you've been on the internet, if you've seen our ads recently, you probably noticed that you could pay for your Google ads in local currency, but with a 50% discount on your monthly subscription. We also offer access to technical support. And for, our cloud and SaaS service payments, we don't charge a dime. Right. Interesting. When we pitch to our customers, we let them know that it's surprising that it's not cheap. It's not cheaper. It's not cheap with us. It's literally cheaper. It's free. It's cheaper. It only makes sense to run your software operations through us. And now to AdPay. AdPay is a product used by thousands of Nigerian businesses to pay for Google Ads in Naira. With AdPay, you can fund your Google Ads Naira account with your ads in Naira with a Naira denominated Google Ads account without needing to convert Naira to dollars or vice versa. And we also extend some technical consulting services that we receive from Google to our customers. So, doing this with us is a massive advantage for you, for your operations, for your, it gives you massive cost advantages. We've seen businesses that are able to boast of 80% lower cost per conversion, 50 to 80% in lower cost per conversions metrics for their marketing efforts using Naira build accounts, direct denominated accounts provisioned by AdPay. All right, so that said, in the last 2 years or 3 years of operating AdPay, we've come across several feedbacks, and those feedback inform the decisions we make as far as who and what we'll talk about during our Google Ads Lab. This should be the 3rd or 4th edition. I think it's the 4th edition. The last edition, interestingly, was at Google Nigeria in Erikowa, but we're going to do that again maybe later this year. But this edition is literally purely virtual, right? And for today, we have the honor and privilege of hosting Tuoyo Erikowa. So yeah, I hope I got that right, so you don't get pissed off with me. I don't want to go too much into the theatrics, but let's just say that he is a seasoned expert, a seasoned professional. He's been doing this for over 15 years, right? And it's not just Google Ads, it's across the stack. And so everything you're going to hear from him today has been distilled with years of experience across different industries, different verticals, different budget sizes. It's literally something that you should ideally pay for, but I mean we're all getting this for free, and so we're super grateful to him. I'll just do a short intro for Tuoyo, just give you some background on his career. He's currently the head of digital media advertising and marketing at TGI, which is Tropical General Investments. It's a group of companies, and he drives strategic direction, executes on-hand initiatives, and fosters cross-functional collaborations across the group of companies. So that could include maybe your Chi Limited and the likes. Before his current role, he spent over 8 years at Friesland Campina, and most recently as the digital marketing manager for Sub-Saharan Africa. Here, he provided both leadership and hands-on strategy for crucial areas like e-commerce, digital transformation, programmatic marketing, ensuring continuous improvement across various African markets. He was instrumental in achieving key marketing KPIs across advanced analytics and building cross-functional solutions that drove growth and enhanced the brand image of Friesland Campina. He also played a key role ensuring data and web security for brand assets and the sites, implementing best practices around data regulation. Earlier in his career at Media Reach OMD, Tuoyo was a digital media stroke advertising lead, where he planned and devised digital marketing schedules, managed campaign strategies, developed content across digital channels for his client portfolio. He worked with major clients like Guinness, Standard Chartered Bank, Reckitt Benckiser, Virgin Atlantic Airways, and was recognized as one of the top 6 executives in Nigeria for business skill and performance. Tuoyo's impressive skill sets include search engine optimization, business efficiency, Google Analytics, campaign setup and management, and generally just delivering results. He is a certified management consultant, a Chartered Institute of Marketing member, a fellow at the IMC. He also holds certifications as a brand safety officer and a certified AWS cloud practitioner. His philosophy is rooted in the belief that understanding concepts bring direction, a principle he applies to his work and life. With this rich background, I imagine hands should be clapping now, spanning the digital strategy, brand safety, and transformative leadership. Tuoyo is poised to continue making significant impact in digital landscape, and is doing that with conversations like we have today. And I don't know, with a loud welcome with your emojis as much as you can, please let's welcome to your screen Tuoyo Erikowa. Tuoyo, please don't be angry with that pronunciation. I did my very best.
I'm angry.
All right, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I said I'm angry. Me and you will fight after this.
Okay. Well done.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Damola. And I hope everyone else can hear me.
Yes, we can.
So, when you read all those stuff, you make someone afraid because you'll be wondering, what's going on.
We'll be fine.
Again, you mentioned something I want to pick on before I start. Is you said we do this for 15. I've been doing this for 15 years. Oh, it's not jokingly. It's not every day you install tracking codes or Google Tag Managers using JavaScript on a website. So it's not every day. You understand? I'm just joking to just to lighten the mood on that. But before I continue, I would like to know those that are in attendance. I see that there's a number of us in attendance. I think I'm trying to look through the names to understand who are those that are here. Maybe I have.
Hello? Tuoyo, can you hear me?
But yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right. Sorry, call came in. I have to use a second laptop so that I can, demonstrate some of the things that I want to show, and that I don't want any. I don't want too much of a blockage in terms of security networks and stuff. So I'm using a second laptop for this. All right. So, I just wanted to know who are those on the call, and if I don't know if they can speak, just to get around appreciation of those on the call before I begin.
Intros. If you'd like to gauge, yeah, please feel free. Sorry, feel free, guys. If you'd like to introduce yourselves, please do. And Tuoyo, if you want to share a screen now could be a good time.
Yes.
All right,
jumping into that. Okay, I think I'll share my screen this manner. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can, please.
All right. So I know Damola mentioned some heavy stuff, but this is just as I have been informed, to make us understand what we can get in terms of tracking of our Google Ads campaign. There are many ways to track. There are many platforms to use, but for time and for specific purpose, we'll at least try to focus on two ways: using a custom and as well a shopping website like Shopify. There's WooCommerce and the rest. But if you want to go through every one of them, we'll be here maybe till 6 p.m. But then we'll just dive into that part. And as I progress with this, please, um, if you need to ask any questions, I might not see you raise your hand, so open your mics and then ask that question so that I can answer it as I go. Don't feel that you are disrupting me. So that's the reason. So, like I mentioned earlier, that this is more of a basic way, no code, because if we look at the codes, maybe that will become like a jargon story, but we are trying to avoid codes. What I mean codes is JavaScript or JavaScript snippets that can be used to track websites. So today, maybe some other sessions, but for today, we'll be avoiding codes. We want to track a custom website and as well as a Shopify website as a novice or as a beginner. Um I hope you can see my slide. All right.
Uh,
I can't see the
not,
other part once I'm showing it. So.
not yet. I can't see your slide yet, please.
Oh, you can see my slide.
Or maybe it's my screen. I can see Google Meet. You need to share the tab with us.
Let me see. That's why I wanted to use two screens. Uh, that was why I wanted to use two screens. All right. Okay, now you should see my slide.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I have very ugly slides, but the meat of the matter is getting what is on the slides. So you might have better slides than I have right now. Like I mentioned, we'll look at Google Analytics, how we can use that on a custom website as well as Shopify, and as well as look at Google Ads connecting with Shopify to have some level of tracking. There are many ways to do it, maybe two ways. There's currently now things have improved. You have AI and stuff like that. So you can easily, you know, insert or program your website to do these things. Some years back, you have to know HTML, PHP, and JavaScript and the rest to do so. So basically, this was done. Originally, this was done by a webmaster or done by a web developer. And I don't know if we have any web developer on this call and we understand what I'm saying because you usually give this part as a digital marketer to your web developer. But apart from the demonstration we're going to have today, I'm going to move a bit faster. We are going to also use the opportunity because, like I said, this is at a novice level. This is not advanced. There are advanced methods and other ways or multi-layered tracking, but this is at least getting started in terms of tracking your sites. Usually, or in the recent past, it was very difficult to track a website for conversion like Shopify. But over time, things have improved. And then you can now automate those processes. And some of them, two of those ways we're going to look at in that aspect. And if you are not hands-on, this also gives you the ability or the awareness to ask your team. Not all digital marketers are hands-on, please. So let's not overstretch it. In this case, not all digital marketers do this in this case. Now, some digital marketers, maybe some of us on the call do this already, but not all of us do this, as I've seen in my experience. So it can also give you that awareness to say, if you are an agency, this is what extra you can do for your client. And if you're a client, this is what you can request from your agency if you're in that part. This works very well when you are in the e-commerce space, when you are in the buying and selling space in that aspect. You really tend to see the value of it. But if you are on the soft side, like an FFCG, where you are not really selling directly to the customer or the end user or a shopper or a client, and then you begin to struggle a bit. But there are other things you can track and understand. And conversion can be what you call it. It can be having someone to read a page, it can be having someone to fill a form, you can have someone to buy something on your site. And that's what we know. That's what we always say. We always say conversion is when somebody buys, but then the definition follows the objective in that aspect. So I've moved to the next slide and how conversion also helps you in your report and analysis, your reporting analysis, because it gives you insights, that you can act on. I'm not going to read every aspect of it because of time. I'm just going to jump. So it allows you to better, drive your value in terms of your objectives and what you tend to achieve. We'll go into that in the next slide. But before then, let me just mention that when we are done, hopefully if we have enough time to go through these 3 points, then you should be able to, install tracking codes on a basic level. We can have another session to look at advanced aspect, and to somewhat a more, I would say, intermediary level for Shopify in terms of how you connect your Google Ads to Shopify. So we go step by step like a novice, make the mistakes together. If you have your laptops on, if you have your laptops on, you can also follow the steps. But I would advise that you have a laptop that doesn't have a lot of restriction in terms of internet connection, because your IT might also block some of the things you are going to do. I'm also experiencing that here as well. So it's good to have end-to-end admin access to the laptop that you are using for this, because sometimes you get into a fix where you need admin access, either to the Google Analytics account or to the Google Tag Manager account or to Shopify or whatever platform, or even if it's WordPress backend, you need that access. So those are some of the things I should call out before that time. And these are some of the things we're going to look at in terms of how we can measure our. So why is conversion setup and tracking important? I'm not going to read everything on this slide, but I'm just going to mention one or two. Of course, if you're spending money online, you want to see whether this money is working for you. Not just CPM, not just impressions, not just reach, but you want to see if someone is taking the action or the intended action that you want. Either read an article and sign up for a newsletter, or you want to know whether they are abandoning their cart or they're making purchases or buying stuff on your website. At least you want to know, and then you want to fine tune that to drive value for your spend. You can also use it to optimize your ad performance, either on Google platform or Facebook, using Facebook pixels and the rest. In number of applications, you can also go to your custom URLs where you can use the UTMs for tracking. There are other platforms like AppFlyer that you can use. But today we'll just focus on the number one in the market, which is Google Ads. Okay, so any questions so far? I won't be able to see the chat, so until I come back to the browser when we start the demonstration. Okay, so for Google Analytics, I would say and GTM. So GTM is Google Tag Manager. There are two ways. One is more complex than the other. Google Analytics, which is GA4, now, it's quite straightforward. And if well implemented, you see things like gender, age, location, device types, and interests. And if you take it a step further, you can track things like sign up, purchases on your website in the field of contact form in that aspect. So let me just see if I can get, you can react, you can give a thumbs up if we are familiar with the term GA4 and GTM. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. So how many of us has really put into practice or have had any direct hands-on engagement with such tools? You can also react, thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, I see a number of those with the thumbs down are my first clients in this demonstration. All right, thanks very much. That shows. Okay, so I will just move on. So first of all, you can create your conversion right there from Google Ads. Like again, like I said, if you have your laptop open, you can follow the steps as we go. Not too much of text, just punch to the matter. So if you look at your Google Ads platform, you see there's a part. We'll get to it where you can have it, create your conversion aspect, and then connect that to whatever platform that you want. There are preset platforms under the conversion and go section on your backend of your Google Ads, where you can connect platforms, either WooCommerce, or Shopify, or Analytics, and the likes in the aspects. But then you must have admin access to connect both of them, because there will be some questions asked in each case. And you can connect your Google Ads through your analytics to your WordPress or custom sites or Shopify, which we're going to look at. The next step, you can use your GTM to do this, and we'll look at two ways we can do that: either adjustment of code snippets, that's event snippets on Shopify, using a codeless. We'll only adjust the code a bit, but using a codeless process, so that this sinks in for those that have not. Okay, so the next, hello? I thought I had someone saying something.
Yeah, please carry on. Carry on. It was probably a mistake.
All right. So creating for GA4, like I mentioned, is your Google Analytics platform. Let me just switch back to the browser. Just for speed, I've already opened some analytics platform. Please, these are live accounts. For NDA purpose, I cannot share certain things. So please understand, for us to make this work, I have to use a live account, which also has restrictions. So that's the only way this makes some sense in that. So this is your Google Analytics account. As you can see, this is one. I hope you can see it. You can create an account here. Under an account has a property that only allows you to manage your website or app that you've developed, either you're using Firebase in that aspect. Please stop me or ask questions if you need. You can drop it on the comment section. So down here, you can see where you can create an account and the property. The account is like the house that controls everything that you are doing. And then the property can be your website, your app, application on Android, or whatever location you have decided to create it. So we can create an account in this aspect. A new account, we can create one here. Let me say this account is play around or testing. This is a live account, so I can't really change a lot of stuff, so that doesn't affect what this business is tracking. So let me say test 111 or test 25, testing 25, just for, you can select what you want to share. Please take time out to read some of this. When you are the Google Analytics platform, you see a lot of links telling you to learn more, read more. You can't know it all. That's the truth. Things change. As I'm talking to you now, there are maybe one or two changes to one of the backend snippet codes and allowable policies like that. So it happens a lot. So, or because it changes, and this is why even the certification for Google Analytics is on a yearly basis. For you to navigate this place, in case you are following the steps, you have to go to this address here. That's analytics.com, or you just type Google Analytics on the search engine, and you click on the first one you get. Then you can navigate there. If you have a Gmail account, you automatically come to the Google Analytics aspect to create that account in that aspect. So works with Google and Gmail accounts. So you can select what types of information you want and tech support that you want to be carried out. For the sake of time, I'll just move on to next. And then he asks you to create your property. You can name your property what it is. You can say tomato red, just for the sake of it. Select your location if it's Nigeria and the rest. GMT, if there's Naira somewhere here, we can use it. Those days, the Naira used to be Nigerian Naira. It used to be none on the list. And you can move on. Here you can create what your business category is. Why this is important is because is that sometimes later on when you start collecting information, your Google Analytics platform can show you benchmarks of other industries. So it's good to fill this rightly. Let me say beauty and fitness, that's what we are. And we are just one or two people. So I'll just move on quickly. And then you can, you can decide to select all this, what you want to do, generate leads, drive sales, understand web traffic. You can decide to select one or two, or select all. No harm in selecting everything here in that part. So let's just see what I can select this ones. Okay, and then you have to read all these terms and conditions as you see it. Most of us don't read it, but you can just say, "Oh, I've read it and I accept." Blah. All right, let's see if it works. In this case, we are trying to track a website. Let's say a custom website. Before this training started or this webinar started, I have opened a WordPress website here just for time. You can see it here. So that's why I mentioned earlier that if you are on a restrictive internet connection, you might not be able to access your WordPress platforms. But if you have that, please create. You can create a website, WordPress site on the spot. I did create one earlier. This is it here. I have it here. You can see Tuoyo's bread. But the problem with this is that you may not be able to connect some of the plugins if you are using the remote server, which may ask you for some money so you can pay. But if you have one free website like this one, then you can do that. Okay, so I will jump back here. We are tracking the website. That's why. And then all this, you can put your website name here, which of the websites you are tracking in that part. Since I just got this one, I'll just copy paste this here. Just to move a bit fast. I can call my website. Sorry, 1 minute. I can call my website, maybe the tomato run around. These are just for, the stream, so that you can create multiple streams, but it just allows you to track the specific property that you're looking at in the aspect. So you can say create and continue. For this, just leave it as it is as default, because later on in advanced stages, the enhanced measurement allows you to measure things like titles and in-depth interaction with videos on your web page, or button connections like checkout, buy me, buy now, all this kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So I've created this property here called Tomato Red with this website, and naturally it will not capture any data. Right. So there are ways you can set up your Google tag. One, you can, install it on your WordPress, which is recommended here, or you can do it manually. If you look at the manual part, you'll see some JavaScript. JScript, that's .s. Please let me know if Are we still following? Oh, we are lost. Okay, I see only 2 tons. All right. So, yep. In that part, I'm just coming here to check. I'll go back. So if you are not familiar with JavaScript and where to place it, there are instructions here. You can place it in. You're familiar with HTML code, then please leave this for your web developer. But it's something that you can do if you just follow the instruction. As long as you have access to the raw source of your code on your website, you can impute the JavaScript in the closing of the header and in your website on all pages that you want to track, and that will be installed and you can test it. You can also use the Google Tag Manager, which is more advanced, where you can build containers, triggers, and tags to drive that connection as well. Or you can just, do the easiest part in terms of using a manual step. Okay, I'm doing this for free in the fresh way. Okay, so let's say this is our WordPress, and then gives you the step where to go. You can see very easy stuff, and it tells you to set up Sitekit and data. So that's Sitekit we're going to set up at the website. So for you to do this, you must have access to full access, admin access to your WordPress site. So I'm at the back end now, and I'm going to go to the plugins area. Hopefully, I have access to this page to do what I want to do. All right. So you can come in here and search for plugins like Google's Sitekit. Google Sitekit just came in some few years back. Made it easy for you to install ads on Google Analytics on your WordPress. So this is it here. Just click on install. Like I mentioned, on the same browser, you must be logged in on both your Google Analytics and on your WordPress. As you can see, both of them are on the same browser. Okay, once I click on activate, so I have this on the slides, but we're just moving a bit faster. You can see now that Google Sitekit plugin is now activated. This does the remote work at the background, because before such plugins, you have to get into your WordPress, maybe either through your cPanel or your file transfer protocol, that's FTP, to install the code at the base of your header.html or your header.php or your head.php file. That's what used to be in those days. But now, things have gotten soft, so you can easily just do this. So quickly, I will move. If I click on setup, if I do not have access, then we will probably get stuck in that case. So let's find out. You can check this. You can check this or not if you want, and then you say sign into Google. It becomes much easier if you are logged in on your Google Analytics account on the same browser. So it will run a bit and ask me if I want to log in, and all the questions continue. And then it will ask me what I want to select. Okay, I'll select everything. I don't have time. And then continue. So it will ask me to verify. You see, this is why I said admin access is important, and have non-restrictive internet access that blocks things like non-HTTPS connections, non-secured connections, on your SSL. So if you don't have that access, you won't be able to carry out these steps. But let's find out. So you verify And then step 1 is done. And it says turn on metrics in your dashboard. You have to allow, without admin access, you probably will not be able to do this, or probably not. And it also sets up Search Console for you. Naturally, for your Search Console, I don't know if any of us knows what Search Console is. Please thumbs up if you know what Search Console is. John, I'll give John an award. All right, so the Search Console allows you to track and understand how your website interacts with the search engine that you have, the Google search engine. It tends to check out, what queries, brings out the result, what page are you on, what issues you have on your website, what URLs are not crawled, which ones are indexed. It's a different session on its own in terms of that, but the Google Sitekit allows you to install your code snippets automatically for your website, including the permission and rights to ensure that you can have both Google Analytics set up on your website and as well as has the Search Console set up. So that's just a bit of explanation there. Okay, let's go back here. Where were we? Sorry, I'm looking for my browser. All right, I'm there. And it's saying setup as the final stuff. If I've not done anything wrong, then we should be able to finish this setup. If I've done something wrong, then it wouldn't work. So it says, you see it, I don't have to do anything. There's no code. I don't have to go look for a browser, use a code reader, a code igniter, whatever editor to edit or patch or paste the code, the JavaScript that I have. Yeah, if you go back to analytics, there's a JavaScript instruction there before the WordPress where you can copy the code and place on the header like I mentioned earlier. But then this just allows us to strictly install it. You see all my ID numbers and reference numbers under the Google Analytics has been captured. You can see tomato red is showing up here. Please confirm if you can see this. So that shows the connection is done. Okay, do I have any questions, any objections on that part? So I will click on complete setup, because if you have other properties, they will show here. If you have other properties, they will show here. I don't want you to see some of the properties that I have here, but you can see there are other properties here. So you can see, other accounts here. So, but we are focusing on tomato red, so to keep it safe. And if I click complete setup, and then that is done. So you can see congrats on completing the setup of analytics. You don't have to do anything. After some time, once the site gets interactions and stuff, you will see all those information here, as well as on your analytics platform when you get there. But if you're not too savvy and you don't want to use the analytics platforms from here, in that aspect, let's see test installation. Let's see if this will work. The email instructions for detection. All right. All right. So these are my stream, all the calculations and all the captures that I have here in that aspect. So I don't want to have this active for some reason, because this is just a test and the site is meant for some other stuff. So please make sure yours is active because you can install it. But this is how it is installed. It's already installed on the website, but I don't want it to be active on this stream here. in that aspect because I will delete this afterwards. Okay, so this is how it is installed on WordPress. And in the matter of time, you can, enable your updates. You can go to settings to check the setup is completed, and then you can track all those things, including your monetization, traffic, content, your speed of your website, and all that. You can get more information in the Google Analytics platform as it is if you come into this property. Okay, any questions? Any questions from anyone? Any other aspect before we jump into the next part of it? So this is what we have done. What I'm sharing on my screen now on the slides, these are things that we have just done. So we've moved through all the slides. You search, you set up, you align your Google Analytics to your WordPress account with admin access, and then you go through all these steps. We've gone through all this, and then it is done. This is the other part I mentioned where you can alternate install, meaning where you can install manually. For example, this website, this is the code for this website in raw terms. So if you're not comfortable doing this, you can do this step we just demonstrated. You can go to the header point. This is where this red arrow is showing. You can see the close, the open and close for the header, and you paste the code in that part. You can do it for all the pages that you want. Or if you have one control read code snippet, then you can paste it on that one, and then it reflects across the other pages. But if you make a mistake here by deleting one comma, one code, one line, your site might not function properly. So that's the risk here. So if you really know what you're doing, you can do this. But then I would advise you just do it with the site kits as it is done. All right. Any questions? If no questions, can I see thumbs up or thumbs down, meaning questions? Okay, that is done. So like I mentioned, please ensure your code becomes active on your analytics because I'm using um, analytics account that is live for something else. So I'm not going to make it active so that I don't have double readings and instructions for that side. So please ensure you do that for your own in that way. So next we'll move quickly now to Google Ads and Shopify. Again, I'm going to be using some live or near live accounts just to demonstrate this. So we're trying to connect conversion codes on Google Ads to Shopify in that aspect. I don't know if you can see my screen here. I already have some of the steps labeled out here where you can go to Shopify. If you have a Shopify, you can create a Shopify account now and create a shop. Just for demo purposes, you can do that. Just ensure you have admin access across it. And how we are going to connect that conversion code and track things like, people that are buying on your website, purchase, or people that are sending in filling forms and stuff like that, so that you can have an understanding of how your Google Ads is driving your conversion. First, your Google Ads must be live and running. You can do that through AdPay in terms if you want to pay for it, and then connect it to your Shopify account in the aspect. Again, like those days, you probably have to do some naked coding on your Shopify account, but now we are trying to avoid jargons. So we are trying to avoid all those code, make it simple, like conversion made simple, at least for basic and intermediary level for this class. So let's just dive in quickly. So I will jump to one Shopify account that I have can see it is my store. It has nothing going on here. I'm trying to sell some things nobody's buying, so I want to learn. Already you can see that there's Google Ads connected to this, and it makes perfect sense if you do this with a merchant center account. There are a number of steps you take to create the merchant center account, but because of time, we do this without the merchant center account. Merchant center account requires you to have like payment gateway and some other about 4 requirements. Once you get that done and it's verified, then you can really connect your Google Ads to your Shopify account to track conversions. There's also a process for this for WooCommerce if you're using such platforms. And other platforms, there's also a custom way to do this using Google Tag Manager. If you have a built up from scratch built up shopping platforms, you can use a Google Tag Manager for that using containers, triggers, and tags. Please, I hope I'm not speaking jargon, so please, hope I'm not losing anyone.
Guys, please feel free. If you have any question, just raise your hand. And Ian will coordinate how your questions are answered. But please feel free, raise your hands if you have questions. Let's use the chat box here, the chat box feature. If you have any questions, Tuoyo will be more than happy to answer them.
Yes, and if I cannot answer, I will mail it to you. Okay, so yeah, but please feel free in that aspect. So all right, John, like I have one award for John. I'll think about it. Okay, so let me just jump back to the Shopify parts. I've opened a number of tabs already so that we are a bit fast. All right, you can see I have one connected here. Let me see whether I can connect another one. Even my this Shopify account, you can see Google Analytics is connected here as well. So the Google Analytics step is also the same way. You can, from your default page, you can see Google Analytics app, or you search here for Google Analytics. Let's see what I want to come up. I know I've already done it, but I can't do it twice. Sorry, I'm on the wrong side of things. So you can search and try to find the 1 minute. Let me. So just before maybe I have to create another one so that I show that step. But just before you can have this installed, you have to install this. That's the Google and You. The Google and You allows you, it's a plugin on Shopify store. Let me see if I have one open. No. If you go to the Shopify store, App Store, then you can see that. Just 1 minute, Shopify. So here you can see a lot of apps here. You can just search and say analytics if you don't know what. There are different types of analytics you can use. It follows the same way of what I've shown earlier. You can see different analytics here to track different stuff. So you can go in depth in that aspect. I've already installed the Google Analytics, so I'm not showing up yet. You can look for GTM tags if you want in terms of tracking, to track Google tags and GTM. They allow you to easily install this codes on your Shopify store without actual coding. So like I mentioned, we are trying to avoid coding in that aspect. And then you follow the process. So you search for it in this manner. Let me make this full screen. You search for Google and YouTube, sorry, no, Google and you, and then you install it on the App Store. In that aspect. So if I say Google and you is at least, I say Google, why am I saying Google and you? Google and YouTube. Let's see whether it will come up despite the fact that it's already installed. So that's it here. This allows you to drive sales, showcase your products on Google, and also enables you to track your conversion in the aspect. So once you search for it, if you are following these steps, once you search for it, you can click open and then you do all the installation. It's pretty much straightforward. But then it will not work if you are not in admin mode for your Google Analytics account or your Google Ads account. So you must be in admin mode. So my Google Ads account is here. This is it here. You can see it. This is it here. So once this is actionable, then it's easy for me to just connect it in that part. For example, you see this is Google GA4 Analytics. You can install it right here if you want. Once you click on install, you follow the process. For example, if I click on install, I know this is already installed, but I can install another one, and then it will ask me a lot of questions. Oh, it takes some time. So while that is loading, we can check on another stuff. Oh, it refused to connect. This is why I said you can see it still refused to connect. This is why I said you must have admin access across all. So I don't have the admin access for this. Maybe what I'll do is remove this and add another one. So maybe we can see manage. You see this is connected to a property. Please, this is just for a test property, and see connected to Google Analytics. These are also connected to your my Google Ads account here in that part with other conversions turned on, and so that you can track what your conversions is. You can even go in depth to augment your conversions in that aspect. So on, let me do one thing so that this become easy, because I don't want to become like they're gonna let me just disconnect. All right. Okay. So now let's say you have installed your Google and you, it will ask you to connect. You won't see reconnect because I've done this before. That's why it's asking me to reconnect. But it asks you to connect your Google account on your Shopify store. Before you do this, please make sure you've installed Google and YouTube on your Shopify account. Then to ask you to reconnect in that part. But for you, it might ask you to connect. Like I mentioned, both of them have to be in the same browser. That's why I see it tells you what account do you want account here. So I'll just move on. And yeah, this is the part I mentioned. I don't have a Google Merchant account here. I have one makeshift, which is not populated, but a populated one will reveal non-disclosure information, so I cannot show you that aspect. But if you don't have, it will ask you to create. You don't have to write any codes. To create your merchant center. Your merchant center is where you can put your ads on Google so that you can use them for performance ads and others in that way, and also make sales. So it's picking my store. I only have one store here. You might have multiple stores, or just one. So this is one store, and it's asking me to connect this store. I can go ahead to create a merchant site because it gives me more option. But like I mentioned earlier, it takes more time to create the merchant store, and that's why we're going to skip it. But let me just show you the requirements. You can do it on your own. You have to like add one payment gateway and stuff like that, or you can bypass it, which we are going to do. So it's checking my site. Let me see if it will ask us to create that or just bypass. Oh, your domain already have a different account. Click to transfer domain, blah blah blah. So I already have one account connected, like I mentioned, and I have to go dismantle everything. But for you that you're just trying this out for the first time, you won't have this. You won't have these issues, so you can easily connect in that aspect. Any questions so far? So I'm just going to disconnect this. But just know that once he asks you, it will ask you to for your merchant, your payments, to ask you for your private policies, to ask you for such things like that, which will take you some time uh, to to provide, and you have to also sign up to some other stuff in that aspect before you can complete it. So it's a long process and that aspect. So I will just disconnect and then do what I told you. We are going to, sorry, let me go back and show you that. So we are just doing this without the merchant center. So once you just click on get started, it will ask you what account you want to connect to. There are multiple accounts here. I can only connect to one. As you can see, please, any questions? Have I thrown anybody off the road? Any thumbs up if I've lost you? Okay, all right. It's like everybody is looking like jargons for them now. This is pretty much straightforward. You can easily just do this on your own on Shopify. It's quite basic. So I'll just move on quickly. So I'm connecting to this. I'll just click connect. You can skip, but I will advise you not to. And to ask you, these are the events. Normally, you can edit your snippet events to capture certain number, into like phone number, add to cart, whatever it is when people click on it. But you can see this makes it very easy. You see conversion actions that have been detected by Google Analytics. So it just gives you the primary one. You can manage this to expand it, or you can you can to change it, because there are some settings that you can look at making. You can see conversion measurement is on. So when someone takes any action around like checkout be completed, or checkout has started, or add to cart, or page view, as simple as that, you can do that. And you can set, you can only at one time set one event on Shopify or elsewhere to primary, so that you don't have a clash on duplication, and have so you can also have accurate readings in your conversion. You can see that this is set to primary and the other ones are secondary. You can always change this, but please just keep one as primary. Okay, so when you click save here and you click confirm, you wait a bit, and it says confirm, and it says install Google tags from your connected services. No, you can add Google tags manually. Here you can take capture your ID from your Google tags where you have it to connect. These are the ID looks, or You can, install them from your connected services. Your connected services is your Google Ads that you're connected with. Don't forget I have this open, and Google Ads here is open. Okay, where's my Shopify? So complete setup, and then we have this Google Ads open here. So now it will ask you. You can take some other steps. This is not done yet. You can view this. Go to Google Ads, look at it. So this is active now. You can go to your Google Ads account. Let's say we are here. You can come on to tools here. On that tools, let me hide this. And come here to goals. You can see your conversion here. On your conversion summary here, you can also build your conversion goods here so that it connects to your ads. This doesn't work well if your ads are not running. You cannot just create conversion under a 30-day attribution line down doing nothing. It's better you connect it to an ad, but I have no ad running here, so we'll see some small errors. All right. So you can see your conversion here. You can create a conversion part. But before we come here, you can see some are active here in this part. But before we come here, let me take you to one moment back to tools here to data manager. So under data manager, I know some of us come to this part, not maybe not a lot of here you can connect. You can connect, like I see, you see the merchant center. This is the merchant center that is said it was already connected and linked because I had one previously. So that's the one connected here. And you can see the Shopify store, my Shopify store as reflected here. It has been taken out because I had it earlier. And then you can look at your connection, what is completed, what audience is added. Under this, you see the attribution models and all that. How many, how does it run to capture, what source is it coming from? That source is from Shopify itself. That's my Shopify store. When was the last time it tracked? How frequently it's checking to record those conversions and that aspect. This is quite basic. We're not looking at the advanced period yet. The audience segment that I added there, you must at least have up to 1,000. So this is a test. You can see you can add this yourself if you are looking for specific audience. Let it load. This is quite boring part of digital marketing because it's not really done that much. So you can see it, conversion name, Shopify test playing ground. This is just the word, but the primary action here is when people buy, you should capture it. The value should be different, maybe $1. You can set this, you can edit it to show. The conversion window is 30 days. If there's an engage view, it's 3 days, view through is 1 day. The attribution is data driven from paid channels. That means, like I said, you must have your ads running, and this is managed by the tags, the Google tag that has automatically been installed on the Shopify in that aspect. So that is it. You can also install the codes manually as it is, like this, using this code. You can represent the code, but this you will need some level of understanding to implement both your conversion ID and your conversion label in the code snippet. The code snippet looks like this. So you replace all these with the code snippet to show a conversion ID, and then you paste that on your Shopify. That is another way of doing it. But since I said we're avoiding codes today, so we're not doing that step. So basically, that's how this is connected to your um, your Google Ads account. And when you start running your ads, then you see the conversions coming in, and manage as you feel. So you can have this, you know, you can, like I said, you don't have to. If you have to, you have some error. You can see add to cart and all that part coming from your Shopify. So you can see this is a Shopify ad purchase. This is just a test. So you just need to have one. You can also create other aspects, maybe newcomers, first sign ups, and all that in that aspect so that you can track those conversions. And like I said, this is not active, so it's inactive in that place. It takes some time. And because it's a test account, I'm not going to have it verified. But this can, once you set this up, you can see that
Hi Toyo, we've stopped hearing you. Oh, we're so sorry about that. Let's just give him a few minutes to rejoin the call. I think he's having issues with his network. All right, while we wait for our facilitator to join the call back, if you have questions with regards to conversion tracking, please drop them in the comment section or in the chat box, and then when it comes, we'll read the questions and answer them. So if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. We'll read them and answer them. Okay, since we don't have questions, someone asked if the recordings will be available. Yes, the recordings will be available to everyone that registered for this event. All right, so very quickly, I'll just run us through the announcements that we have. All right, so if you're
Hello, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you want to ask a question?
No,
Okay.
I got knocked off as I was rounding up. Yeah,
Okay,
so
please
all my
continue.
network just went flat.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, it's good to have you back. So you can continue with your roundup. Tuoyo, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, you can continue with your presentation.
Yes, I was just about rounding up when all my apologies. When all my networks, just both backup and everything went flat. So I was saying, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I was just saying that's how the basic connection in conversion, like I showed, yeah, connects with Shopify, and as well as with the Google Analytics, they'll have some tracking and understand your conversions on those platforms. That was what I was about to say when I just went off. So I'm pretty much done in terms of showing that you can actually track your conversions on Google Ads in conjunction with Google Analytics without coding. Very basic, straightforward. And then you can pick your results. But make sure you have your ads running so that because it's using the tag connection to your ads paid account to drive that performance and conversion, since you are spending money to drive conversion so that you can capture what happens on your store. Right. So that's it. If there are any questions for time, I will take them. Otherwise, I post them back the later day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tuoyo. So do we have any questions? Please feel free to ask your questions. Okay, seems we don't have questions. Probably people want to go back, listen to the recordings and like digest it properly. All right. So I'll just take the announcements that we have. The first announcement we have is right now for Naira accounts. Okay, John, it seems you have a question. Please, you can
Yeah,
go ahead.
so good afternoon. Thank you, Tuoyo, for the class. I really enjoyed it. And also thank you to the organizers for organizing the class. I have one question. I think it's regarding the aspect of the merchant center. Right. When after you set it up, I know we did not go into so much detail on it because of time. Right, but after you set it up, and are there like things you are basically going to look out for? Like, let's say if there are, because I had an issue one time that after the setup and ads were already running, and I think there was a changes that was made to the website, and it made the prices change. Right, it made the prices let's say like a discount code was implemented, discount and stuff was implemented on the website. So it changed the whole pricing in on the website. And with that, I think Google ended up banning the merchant center. Are there ways to go about that process so that kind of ban does not happen, basically? So it doesn't look like you are misleading, because the issue they gave was that I was misleading the audience, basically. So that was why the ban. So we needed to do much more verification than that.
Do you have double tracking on your connecting to your merchant center? Do you have more than one GA code, GS
No,
code?
no, no. It was just one. It was just one use.
So if
Oh,
you
from the
implemented
Shopify.
if you implemented you said you implemented a coupon or a discount coupon or a discount on the merchant center,
Code.
and then
No, not on the merchant center, on the website.
on the website,
Yeah,
and then that means there is and the prices went up or down,
it went down. It's more like a discount, like a twenty
like a
percent.
discount.
Yeah,
I think you should do you have a manager for your merchant center,
like a campaign manager.
like a specialist on your merchant center?
No, no, not necessary. I was
Yeah,
basically
you
the one
have to review your policies and um, on the merchant center to see where that changes, and also look at the script that you have on the website if it matches that ID coming from your merchant center. In that, but one of the things that can cause that is double ID or correct, not correctly imputed ID with a value system, with a value number. So if that is up, if the price that you are seeing, if I get you right, if the price you are seeing differs, then that is a violation in terms of what that's why you said it looks like you are misleading the audience. It's because they might be seeing that price parity in that aspect. So that might be a tag ID issue on your script or a double implementation. You might want to review your merchant center. I can also send you um, a checklist of things to check in that aspect because it was working well before that implementation on your website, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
So it's more of the script, discrepancy between the value and ID because everything has an ID. It must be mapped so that it knows that this is your discount price and this is your original price in that aspect. So those two values must work in parallel. But once they connect, then it looks like there's a distortion in that aspect. That's one thing. Without doing a diagnosis of the actual backend, that's one I can say can cause that. There might be other factors. So I can send you maybe a checklist that you can look so that you run through. If you have a webmaster to ensure that each part aligned. Double tracking is also possible that can cause that, where there are left codes that may become active when you add an additional in the snippet or item on your website.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toyo. Do we have any other questions? You have any other questions? Okay, since we don't have questions, I'll just run through the announcement. Okay, so there's a free Google Ads credit offer that is currently ongoing for Naira accounts. So if you're a new advertiser or you've never gotten ad credit from Google before and your account is still new, less than 14 days old, you can qualify for free Google Ads credit. So there are three different offers. We have the 450,000 offer, we have the 920,000 offer, and we have the 1.38 million naira offer. So for the 450,000 offer, when you spend up to 450,000 within your first 60 days, you can get additional 450,000 from Google. The second offer, you have to spend 1.38 million to get 920,000 naira credits from Google. Then the third offer is you spend 2.7 million to get 1.38 million from Google. So if you're interested in this, you can visit the link here, or you can scan the QR code and fill the form, and would reach out to you and apply one of the three offers to your account. We also have an AdPay experts community. So we know that there are some businesses that are struggling with Google Ads, right? And we know there are some people that understand Google Ads very well and they're like experts. So if you join our experts community, you can get referred to people that have issues with their Google Ads account, and then you just help them with the setup and like just help them with their Google Ads account. So if you are interested in joining the AdPay experts community, kindly scan this code. We'll also send the link to everyone after this meeting. You can fill the form in the link that we would send, and then we'll get back to you on every other thing you need to know about our experts community. Also, we have very interesting news, right? AdPay would be launching local currency billing for TikTok and Microsoft Ads. Right. So currently, we know we support just Google Ads apart from GWS and AWS and Google Cloud. But from next month, you'll be able to pay for your Microsoft ads and your TikTok ads from the AdPay platform. So we'll be sharing more details about this later. But if you're interested in this, kindly scan the QR code or use the link here to join the wait list. So I'll leave this on the screen for now so that anyone that is interested can join. So we've come to the end of this Google Ads Lab. I trust that we've learned a number of things with regards to conversion tracking, and we hope that we'll get better conversions and better results from our ads moving forward. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We'll be sending the recording via email to everyone after this call. The community link, you mean the experts community link, right? All right, I would put that in the chat section. I'll put that in the chat section. All right, thank you everyone for joining this call. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you very much.